My biggest life challenge is probably living with Mr. Copley for the last 14 years.
Okay, the biggest life challenge that I had to face back in 2011, and I set myself for the first time to study in a language that was not my first language, and I had to go to England and start from scratch, learning everything in another language and interacting with other students and teachers in another language. That was very hard because sometimes I arrived at the end of the day that was really drained, my brain couldn't function any longer. And how did I overcome it? It was just a matter of grit. I had my bad days, and in the end I continued, I persevered through different stages, and I became more and more proficient along the year. I dedicated a little bit more time in reading, and even if I was not understanding, I kept going on, and in the end, after 1 year, I can say that I was, if not very successful, I was successful enough to achieve my master degree.
It's like, so everyone has a busy time, so sometimes it's getting hard how to balance your life, your daily life and your work. So what I would do is I will use the weekends to do something more relaxing and hang out with friends, and go to the cinema with my family to have some leisure time. So get myself feel more comfortable and more restful in my leisure time.
I always wanted to be an artist who did something completely new and different, and it took me 3 years to experiment and explore and find a new method of making photography that was unique pretty much to myself. I spent the time to do that, and now I did it. It took me 3 years. I wanted to make photographs on silver background, like daguerreotypes from the early 1800s, but except on a much larger scale. Now I make photographs as big as the whiteboards almost, and it's not a daguerreotype, it's a completely different process, but it's still a photographic process. And there's just lots of little details of figuring out the substrates and figuring out drying conditions, and it's like 22 layers of processing. And though it seems easy because it's photography, it's really not. It's laborious. I still sell them. They're really expensive. Do you want to buy one? They're really cool. It's a photographic process actually that lasts longer than any other image making in the 20th century, really. I just kept on doing it and learning from it, and how do I develop it further? This is what artists should do. This is what our A-levels program shows us. Take that step by step and pay attention and take notes and figure it out so that I can realize my vision.
My biggest life challenge is probably trying to motivate these guys. I've tried to overcome it, but now I've given up.